flap of skin, which is actually a sea lion's ear. So sea lions will have their ears on the outside of their head, very similar to yours and mine, whereas the seals, in comparison, they would just have a hole or a slit covered by fur, so much smaller and much more discreet compared to a sea lion's. Now, difference number 2 is a lot easier to spot compared to an ear, and it is in fact those two great big front flippers. As you can see on Ruby, Lolita and Anya there, their front flippers are around the size of a forearm, so from my fingertips down to my elbow. Now in comparison, a seal's is much smaller. They're only around the size of mine and Charlie's hand with 5 claws at the end of it, just like we have our 5 fingers. Now because sea lions have these very large and powerful front flippers, it means they're able to do a few different things that seals can't. And this leads us on very nicely to our final comparison. It's actually the way that a sea lion will move around on land. Keep and run, keeping her upper body off that ground the whole time, even able to jump up and touch Charlie's hand, moving with ease, moving with elegance, demonstrating exactly how a sea lion will move. But Ruby, you're going to have to compare that to how a seal would move, because we don't know how a seal will move. So Ruby's going to demonstrate just how a seal will move for us now. Now, as you can see here, it's not as elegant or as graceful as a sea lion. A seal would have to push themselves along their big tummies, dragging along with their tiny front flippers. Very different compared to a sea lion, and very easy to tell the two apart. Now, those are the main differences between sea lions and seals. Could we give our sea lions a big round of applause? Now, the reason we do this part is they are completely comfortable with Charlie handling and touching them as well, just for their own health and safety as well. Now, sea lions are hunters, they are predators, but more specifically, binocular vision and long, flexible necks. And we're going to demonstrate exactly how this is going to work with these hoops. So Charlie's going to throw each of these hoops to Ruby. Let's see if she can get this first one. There's one. Here's two. Now, what you can see is actually Ruby's eyes focusing on those hoops, even with a flip on the end. A bit more challenging. She can catch them all. Can we give her a big round of applause, everybody? Now, because these hoops are challenging and stimulating for the sea lions, it engages all their natural hunting behaviours. That means we're going to have to demonstrate exactly how this is going to work in the water, because obviously sea lions won't be hunting for their fish on land. So in just a moment, Lolita is going to head into that water. Now, for each hoop she is able to catch, can we give her a big round of applause? So here's hoop number 1. There's one. Let's give her a round of applause. Here's 2, only 7 years old. Here's number 3, fantastic. And can we give her a big round of applause if she can get this last one? We got one more to go, Lolita. Here we go. She's being a wee bit cheeky. She's going to try them all again. Here we go. Only 7 years old. She's a little bit impatient sometimes, but that's completely fine. Let's see if she can do this all over again. So Lolita, are we ready? There's number 1. Here's number 2. Can we get the third one this time? And if she can get this last one, she deserves a round of applause anyway, don't you think? Now, out along the west coast of Northern America, whiskers. And now we're going to start off with Ruby here, because Ruby's still quite new to this behaviour. It takes anywhere as few as 3 months all the way up into a year to learn this behaviour, and even then some sea lions are still not able to get this, but Ruby is still quite new with her training. But Anya is actually a little bit further on, meaning she's able to balance this ball. But if you actually look very, very closely at Anya's whiskers, they are actually doing all that work. So they're curling around that ball, sensing the vibrations and movement, knowing where it is the whole time. Her eyes are focused on Charlie, because when Charlie gives Anya that signal, she passes it straight back. Big round of applause for Ruby and Anya. Now, once again, we're going to have to make this a little bit more challenging and engaging, and we're going to prove to you that it really is those whiskers working. So Charlie's throwing that ball into the pool, and he's picking up the vibrations of this ball. Now, can she bring it all the way up onto the stand? Of course she can. And if she can pass it back to Charlie, can we give Anya a big round of applause? Great work, demonstrating exactly how those whiskers would work. Now, even though sea lions often need a little bit of help from the audience today, but first we're going to need some help from one of our sea lions. So Lolita is going to head into that water. She's going to demonstrate what animals would be hunting sea lions out in the wild. And I'm going to give you a big clue. Look at what she's about to do with that front flipper. So I'm going to let everybody have a think about it for a second, because when I count down from 3, I want you to shout out as loud as you can what animal you think would hunt a sea lion. Are you ready, everybody? In 3, 2, 1. How was that, Charlie? He said that was rubbish. I can hear him over the fence. So we're going to try that one more time, even louder. In 3, 2, 1. Did you get that, Charlie? He says you can be even louder. Lolita's head's under that water, so we need to give her a big warning. So we're going to try that in 3, 2, 1. Fantastic, and of course you are right. So great white sharks, tiger sharks, bull sharks, and even killer whales would be hunting at sea lions. But Lolita, what would you do if there was a shark in your pool? You would make your way onto the land as quickly as possible, and you would hide yourself away. I think I'd do exactly the same if I was being hunted by a shark. Big round of applause for Lolita, everybody, and for yourselves as well. Now, the ocean is actually the largest habitat in the entire world. It's not always easy for those sea lions to make their way up onto the land whilst escaping those predators. So Anya is actually going to demonstrate something she would do to escape any sharks or predators, and this is just a reminder as to how agile these marine mammals really are. These sea lions are incredibly agile animals, meaning they can do this. So Anya is going to demonstrate not one, a nice big hug as well. Can we give Anya a big round of applause for demonstrating just how agile these marine mammals really are? Fantastic work, Anya. Is plastic pollution. Now sadly, plastic is estimated to kill a marine animal every single second of every single day, and there's meant to be more plastic in our oceans than there are fish. Now this is a very important message we are trying to send out to everybody here today. Now for this section of the demonstration, you notice Charlie has got this plastic bottle here. He's going to do something that we should normally never ever do. So what he's going to do with this plastic is he's actually going to take it to the water and he's going to throw it in there. As I said, this is something we should normally never do. But I want you to pay very close attention to what Ruby's going to do with this plastic bottle. She's going to bring it onto the beach, all the way around to that bin. And even better, it is a recycling bin. Can we give Rubes a big round of applause? And if you do have any rubbish, any litter, please do follow her example. Make sure it goes into the correct bin. It would not only go a long way into helping the animals and the sea lions here at the zoo, but it would go a very long way into helping all wildlife across our planet. Even a little difference goes a very, very long way. Now we are nearing towards the end of the demonstration today, but just before we go, Ruby, Lolita and Anya are going to leave you with a front flipper stand to remind you how large and powerful those two front flippers really are. We know Ruby and Lolita can do it again, so we're going to try that again, Ruby. That's okay. We're going to try one more time, Charlie. Here we go. If she can get this, can we give her a big round of applause? Great work, Rubes. And on behalf of Anya, Lolita, Ruby and Charlie, can we give them a big round of applause? And can we give our sea lions and our sea lion trainer a big wave goodbye as well? We want to say thank you very much.